everyone, welcome back to another tutorial series. This video is session 5 out of 6. It is almost at the end of the tutorials. We can do this together. This is the laid back video of all the time.
Yeah.
Laziest video that we've made. But we're just gonna roll it. So last time we finished off with the ceiling, featured ceiling above the reception desk. And before we start this tutorial, we've kind of brought in all the furnitures, almost every meeting rooms, and to fill out the space. And we sort of have the basic layout of the office. And before we start to add materials, I think we just wanted to kind of get like the basic standard setup for how we create a plan out of this. And we can add the details later. But if you can show us like how we can make plans, how we set up the sheet, what is sheet is about, where do we do it, how do we add annotations, dimensions, and how do we convert into PDF, that'll be amazing.
Okay, sounds good. So, like Mia said, we are going to look at what it entails producing a sheet or drawing for construction or for contract administration, or if you just want to submit a detailed floor plan. So, a detailed floor plan consists of so many things that are not in this model right now. For example, first of all, in order for this to be constructible, you need to have grids. Grids are, vertical and horizontal, sometimes angled lines that help contractors and engineers, know where what wall is, and they're those ones that are often located on the center of the core. What do I mean? So, if to draw a grid, you go to architecture and grid. The shortcut for this is GR. So, if I just type GR on my computer, this is going to pop up and it's going to give you on the properties tab. It's going to ask you what type of grid you want. Most firms kind of customize their grid to look a certain way, but if you're just using the normal Revit 2021, it just gives you a normal one. So you can just pick on like the walls. Again, I'm just doing this from scratch. Don't judge me, guys. So
Why would we judge you?
I'm just trying to. Okay, I'm just gonna pick them. Okay, central line. Never mind. I'll adjust it later. So you should do this first before you actually start drawing plans. Or if you're drawing from like what's it called? Like a CAD file, you should actually do this first so they know, how far is the typical wall and what is its extent. This plan is a bit, angled because of the nature of the building, so it's not really relevant for the purpose of this video. But this is how grids will look like. So it will go exterior wall to the major interior walls that are load bearing, and the exterior wall as well. So for example, another one will go horizontally like this, that goes through this curtain wall. You get my point. And another one will go through here and just align it to that. Another one will go through here. Just where you have structural elements like walls that intersect, and the final one will go through here. So this is how the normal grids would normally look like, but it looks a bit weird in this video because the walls are kind of angled slightly. But grids are really important in working drawings to show, again, the constructability of the walls, to show the extent. So in order for contractors to know where they're placing each wall and how the walls are connected, if they're connected to the underside of the ceiling or underside of the structure, if it's an existing or a new building. Another thing that's really important in making working drawings is the dimensions. So again, different firms have their different strategy for making dimensions. But for a rule of thumb for dimensions, you want to dimension inner, like partial dimensions, and the full dimension. What do I mean? For example, this stuff looks super weird, but let's see. Trying to align everything. Like this one as well. And again, you can also like edit like the grid. Normally in school, we would do not we would do like from left to right. We do it like numerical.
Mm.
Just two. So I'm just double clicking in the grid and changing the figures. So for example, if I submit this drawing to like a contractor to build and the reference, if let me just finish this, then you see what I'm talking about. So GR, and let me just put one here so you see what I'm talking about. So the ones that go from up to down, let me just give them like an alphabetical name because this is what we did like in school. Shout out to U of M. B, C, D, and E. So now it's easier for me to locate a part of the drawing. Let's say there's a mistake with the drawing and contractor said, the wall on 4B or the area between 4B. I know that 4 and B intersect here, so I know that he's talking about the northeast side of the building. So, things like this is really important to have, to know where to orient yourselves and know where things are on the plan. So that is that. So grid is number one. Number two, like I said, dimensions, and I'll show you what I mean. So the dimension is the exterior that dimensions is in two parts. You have the I don't know if it's called the full and the parts, but this is what I mean. So I'm just hitting DI, which is the shortcut for dimension, or you can access it by going to annotate here and going to align dimension here. But just do this. Let's save our project as well, so we don't lose our file. Let me work with these ones that actually straight. So this is the inner one. Then you need the overall one that goes from this wall here to this wall. So if these dimensions were like straight, if these dimensions were straight, this it will continue, and you can have your other dimensions. So grids are important, dimensions are important. I think I can do it for the ones that are here. So DI again. And I'm just clicking at each dimension. And again, all these things can change based on like your scale, and this is the outer one that goes from here all the way to here, so you know the whole extent of your building. So grades is important, dimension is important. For example, if this was a renovation project and you had different phases of the project, let's say phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and you have different work sets. If the firms normally kind of use different shadings for different phases of the project. For example, if I draw another wall, which is a wall that we haven't used yet.
So would you put the dimension on the working plan and not on the sheet plan?
We can do it, whatever we are doing right now, we can do it on the sheet. So maybe if I make the sheet,
does it
for
matter
sure.
which one you do?
It doesn't really matter, to be honest, because whatever you do here, it will show up there. But people like working from sheets, so I can make a sheet and also show you how this is also possible to do. But it's easier to work on 3D stuff, like 3D related stuff in the the plans. Then when you go to the sheets, it's just more of annotations, like fixing view range, fusing, making the dimensions, making sure everything is constructible and it's the right size to submit for tender. For example, you'll be surprised, like, why do we have a different color wall here, different color wall here? If this was an existing structure and we were demolishing some walls, on the sheets we will have wall legends where I would show this and this. For example, if I do this, if this was a legend, this would be existing, this would be new wall. So we use different colors, or I've normally seen gray as like an existing, and new structure is the main walls with
the blue.
Exactly. I'm just gonna with main walls with the the studs and the gypsum, whatever it's made of. But yeah, I'll just go back to course. Anyway, so that's like a side note. Okay, so let's make a sheet to bring everything together. To make a sheet, You can either go to the View tab up here
Yeah.
and go to Sheets, or click on the Sheets here in the project browser, right click and add and click on New Sheets. So there are two ways. Tell
Okay.
me, what is it?
We can do it from there.
Okay,
You shoot.
New Sheet. Okay, let's go to New. Okay, this is weird.
We can do it from there too.
Okay, my bad. Okay, so so we have A0 here, but what if we want a different sheet? What if you want A2, A3? I got you. Go to load. This will bring you to your Revit family, where you have all the stuff that you downloaded when you downloaded the the, the software in
Mm-hmm.
general. So we go to title block. That's where we can find our new sheets, and this way we have all our sheets.
Mm-hmm.
They can come in more. You know, you can change your library, but like this is just what is available for this Revit. So let's say we don't want to use let's see, 11 by 17 B
Okay.
size. Okay, you press
Is
OK.
that inches?
Yeah, inches. I'm not really good
No,
with
that's okay.
I can double check it on like Google, but like that's like a hassle.
No, we can double check.
Okay,
Don't
okay,
worry.
for sure, for sure. Okay, so now let's say we are using our 11 by 17. So once you click on a Revit family or whatever project, it gives you the preview, so you can actually see how it look like. Then you can go in there and edit it, which I'll show you to suit your taste. So once you're happy with the one you selected, you press open, and now you can see this it's loaded in your sheet. So
Okay.
now you click on it and press OK. Now we have our first sheet.
Mm-hmm.
You can you can tell because now you can see that we have our A101 unnamed. You can rename it to whatever you want it to be. So you can go to the right click, and you can go to rename. You can leave the sheet number as A100 and just say first floor plan, like whatever that you want, so that it's easy to like catch a note of it. Now you've updated that. It shows here. It shows the sheet name, the sheet title. But
Okay,
if you
I
think it
see.
to
So
yourself,
when you update the title of the sheet, it automatically writes on your title block.
exactly. You might be thinking to yourself, well, Ebuka, I don't like this. This is like not what I want. It's okay. I got you as well. You can double click it to actually edit the family. You can take all this and put it by the right hand side. You can do whatever you want it to do, whatever you want with it. You can change this. But let's say both of us have a company, or we have a service that we offer, or Ebuka and Mia, like whatever our name is. We can actually impute the image here, the logo here. For example, let's say we don't like this at all. We can delete this, go to insert,
Mm-hmm.
uh, import image. Now I'm going to look for an image on my computer. Hopefully, I don't have any weird images on my computer. Let's see. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. So let's say this is our company logo that we normally use. So we can click on it and press open. Now we can see it's way too big. It's okay. I got you. We can always rescale it. You can either click here and do this, or if you know the actual width of this, you can just input it here. Whatever works for you.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna put this in, try and make it the same size. 1 second. And we can write, you know, whatever. It's fully customizable. That's all I
We have a
want you like.
company together now.
Hey, speaking it into existence. Anyways, so once you're happy with whatever change you want to make, again, like all these, you can get rid of all these, make it customizable. Depends on what you want. That's kind of something that I like about the Revit sheets. Once you're happy with whatever you have, you can load it into your project, and it says it's going to tell you to overwrite it. The reason why it's telling you to overwrite it is because I didn't save it, so it's my bad. So I'm going to go back to it and actually save it. So file, save as a Revit family.
Okay. So what are you saving this for? The Revit file or sheet?
I'm saving the sheet as a family. So even though I
Ah,
use a different laptop, I can import this family that I've made into a different Revit.
okay.
Exactly. And even if it's a later version, it will just upgrade it. So now it will go under the title blocks that are normally in Revit. So I'll just call it, yeah, and class
Freelance.
freelance 11 by 17 sheet, whatever. Just having fun here. Save. What? Never mind. Abort mission, guys. It didn't work. It should normally work. I just don't know what is happening to my computer right now. Let's just load it into project. But I promise you, you can actually save it.
Okay.
Overwrite, and here we have it. We have our company logo and company name. Good, Bob's your uncle. Now, in order to drag sheets onto a plan, it's as easy as just clicking on the floor plan you want,
Yeah.
holding, dragging, and dropping. That's it. I know. You may say, okay, but it's too skilled. I know. Now we can fix we can fix the scale. So you double click on it and change the scale here. So I'm going to go for 1:100, and now you see how much better it is. So you can double click outside, click on this, try and put it in the middle.
So did you click in the viewport and then
Okay.
change the scale
hmm
and then it got smaller?
Yes. So I can Control Z and like start again. So this is our sheet, right?
Yeah.
We can actually change the scale before we come here. I just changed it here because I wasn't, aware of the scale. We can actually change it here, and it will come perfectly there. So you can actually change. Like, there's no rule for changing the scale. You can change it here or there. I was just showing how to bring the view, to bring the drawings. Let's say you want to bring your drawings onto your sheet. Now you have your sheet open. What you do is you click on the floor that your drawing is,
And drag it.
drag. Once you know you're doing it right, where it shows this plus sign, and just drop. Now, before you drop it, it will show you like the viewports of how big and small it is. Again, you can adjust this. You can just click it anywhere. You can adjust it later. So you click, and now we have your drawing already. Now you might be thinking, but this viewport is too big. It's okay. I've got you. We can like fix it by clicking on this. Uh, sorry, double clicking inside the view and coming here
Yeah.
to click come here to this button called show crop region.
Mm-hmm.
So now it will show it. Now you can now drag so that you don't see anything you don't want to see. Now, drag it in. Again, this is super big. We can always fix the scale later. Or if you just want to hide it, you can just hide like the elevation. So once you're happy, just turn off the crop view where it says hide crop region. And now you have a seamless drawing on your sheet. Now you might be asking, why is this here? It's supposed to be here. It's okay. I've got you. Click on this and move it up to allow space. In order to move this, you shouldn't click on this. Click outside.
Okay.
Click on just this and drag. I used to struggle with this in school a lot because I thought I could edit this by holding this, but no. I'll show you again. In order to fix the what's it called, the viewport, the title line, you can just double click outside first. Now click on just the line and just drag to
Okay.
where you're happy. Revit is very complicated. Now, for example, let's say I don't like the way this line is going outside. I have to click on the viewport and
And
drag.
then drag it. Oh.
So now this is a sheet. You can put multiple things on a sheet depending on the scale and everything. For example, to answer your questions, if you want to draw lines, you can actually draw lines on here. So
On
you
top
go,
of the plan or inside the plan.
you can draw it inside and on top. Let's say we want to work on this sheet, on this drawing, but we don't want to go back to the
Model.
shooting model. Just double click inside it and see, you can actually work on it.
Edit.
So if you want,
Okay.
edit it, you can do things that you want to do. But
And
yeah,
this
that's
is inside the model, right? It's not on sheet. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yes.
Yeah.
It's wait, say it again.
So this is like inside the, like we're editing something inside the model space rather
Yes,
than on sheet.
yes, but it's wait. Sorry, what's your question? I'm confused.
If you
What if
wanted
I
to
took
add
here?
like dimension, so there's a sheet, like
Yeah.
a view box for sheet, and then you have another view box for plan. And then
Yes.
in order to put something in the plan, you had to like double click the viewport of the plan to do
Yes.
something.
Yes.
But can you actually draw something outside of this viewport so it's
Yes.
on the sheet?
Yes. For example, and I'm going to show you. Let's make another sheet. So to make another sheet, you just right click. So right click, new sheets. So now it's there. Then you press OK. Now, let's say we want to draw a line. We want to show two different things. You can do it. Just press DL for detail line, and we want to make it a thin line. Let's say we want to go from here to here. That's
Mm.
fine. Go from here to here. I just want to make it equal. So I'm just going to do this, dimension this, and make it equal. That's good. Now, we want to put different things on a sheet. We have to create those views first. So go to the first floor. Let's say we want an elevation of, looking towards here. To make an elevation, I'm just going to make this. This is super big. 1 to 50. Okay, good. To make an elevation, you
How
go to
did you do
view.
that? Sorry, you click the grid line,
Do what? Change the scale.
change the scale of the.
Oh, so just click on the scale and pick whatever scale that you want.
Oh,
So
okay.
if I click on the scale to make it smaller,
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, but bigger on paper, they have like an inverse proportionality to them. Let's say I want to create a view looking this way. So
Mm-hmm.
how to create an elevation view? You
Yes.
go to view and go to elevations,
Yeah.
and I'm going to click on interior elevation. Once I'm happy, then I click on it. Press escape key a couple times and click on it, and it shows you the extent of the elevation. So you can say, oh, I want to see till the end of this wall. That's good. So now you've made that view. It will appear in your elevation uh, uh, folder as in the properties, in the project browser. My bad. So you can click on it and actually edit the elevation. So if I double click on it to see what it shows,
Hmm.
now this is an elevation view. You can make whatever changes you want to make to this elevation. For example, let's say levels are really, really, really important in elevations. So sometimes we don't really. Some people show grid lines, some people don't. It's again, it's whatever you actually want it to be. So now this is your crop region. This allows you to see and not see different things. For example, this is the ceiling. I want to see the underside of the ceiling. So I'm just going to click on drag it close to here, so I can actually see the ceiling. But there are different ways that we do in school that we just kind of go around it. But anyway, so in the ceiling, in the elevation, what kind of constitutes like a really good elevation for like a working drawing? You have to tag the mullions again if it's for specification. Tag the mullions, tag the screens, tag the
What does
new
that
walls.
mean? What does tag mean?
So creating a tag, for example, TG is so it just lets you tag the mullions or the coursing wall.
Okay.
So like
The
for
purpose of
example,
tagging is.
is the purpose of tagging is to know the specificity of what is inside your plan. For example, if I want to get furniture for this plan, let's say we're actually going to build it, we need Revit tags to know the amount of a specific kind, an amount of a specific kind, but a different type of it. For example, we have windows that's like this. You know that this is a similar style of windows, but they have different sizes. So they will have different tags. Do you get? For example, let me go to my first floor. Let me. We actually didn't go through tagging. So to tag elements, you can either use TG
Mm-hmm.
or go to annotate, tag all.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can click on what you want to tag. So let's say we want to tag the doors or the stairs or the walls or the windows. We can just click on everything we want to tag. And once we and okay, this is a door tag. Once you're happy with it, you press apply, and now it has tagged it. So this is type 29.
Oh, okay.
This is type 30. So it just gives you. It's just for amount,
Mm.
basically. For example, this is a tag, but the reason why it's not showing anything is because we haven't kind of given it like a mark. For example, if you want to give this like a type, let's say this is type one wall. For example, I'm just give an example. This would be type one, type one, type one. Then, for example, this is type two wall because of its thickness. All the walls that have this thickness would be automatically changed to type two. Same thing as this one, type three. Again, like there are different ways and better ways of doing this. This is just to show you how to like use tags. You can actually give them like a leader if you want. So you can actually move them, and so they actually have a leader to them. So that is what they call tagging in Revit. Okay, good. Okay, sounds good. So now I'm going to go back to our sheet and try and place an elevation view on here. Okay, for example, let me just go back here. Okay, this I mistakenly changed it to 1 to 50. Okay, we are good. So now you can for it's really good to have. Let me just see how it looks like in realistic view. Okay, this is good.
Oh, looks nice.
Yeah. So why this is a bit confusing because we are seeing the other end of the room. We don't want to see that. We just want to see how like 1 second. I'm just gonna remove the tags because it's causing everything to be like messed up. But this is what you should be shown in your working drawings. Wall tags, floor tags, finish tags, room names. We'll get to that later. Grids, dimensions, partial dimensions, full dimensions, depending on the plans you're putting. If it's a construction plans, it's just showing the exterior walls and the interior walls, no furniture. If it's a furniture plan, it's showing the exterior walls, but emphasis on the furniture and tag the furniture. If it's a finished plan, it's just showing the exterior walls and the finished plan of each room, no furniture. So we have different plans that show these different things, organized different ways.
So how do we tag a room? Can you tag a room?
For example, I'll show you. To tag this room, you can either create you need to create a room first in order to tag it. And how
Okay.
to create a room is just architecture room. So you click on this. It already shows you the area. It's showing this area because you have a wall that's closing it. This is room one, room two, this is
That's
room
it.
three, room four. Now, for example, you know that this whole part and this part is different, but
Mm.
there's nothing splitting it. This is where the line separator comes in. Now, it's made this whole thing one room, but for example, you don't want this part to be part of room five. You want to separate it.
Yeah.
Now, you click on room separator
Mm-hmm.
and it works like a charm. You just click from where you want the room the separation to start. You want it from here to here,
Mm-hmm.
and now we've created a room separation. We can now give this part its own room by clicking this, and
Oh,
now we
okay.
have different rooms. I know it's a bit messy because we are showing so many things at the same time, but I'm just showing you kind of the basic essentials that you would need to produce a working drawing. And
Yeah.
now you can now go in here and rename this to meeting room. Again, you can also fix the width. It's just super big. You can fix like the the scale and everything. But
So
yeah,
you just
another thing
hit the
that this
text
comes
and
with,
edit type.
Yes. So another thing that is good is it is good to know the volume and the square footage. You don't have to calculate it by yourself. So Revit kind of automatically does it for you. What do I mean? So if I click on this room tag, I can change it to with area or with volume. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
we want to find the area of this meeting room. We click on it and it shows it here. It's 240 square feet.
Mm,
So yeah, it just depends on what you want to get out of it. But
okay.
since we, you know, I'm trying to see how we can actually reduce it. I think maybe it's reduces with the scale. Let's see. Okay, 1 second. That's too small. Oh yeah, it reduces with the scale. So now you can see it's smaller. But that means the paper type we were trying to print it on was too small. For this annotations. Well, lessons learned. But yeah, this is how let's say, what do we give this room again?
Meeting room, 4-person meeting room.
4 person this room. We can go
So it
here and
needs
type.
to have a different name, right?
Yes,
If it's
yes.
a different room, I guess.
So if it's the same name, then it just gives you an error message.
Error. Ah, okay.
And you know, let's say for the door tags, I want to call this, let's say 101, type 101. Basically, we normally use the same door tags as the name of the room or as a number of the room. Let's say this is room one, so this will be your door one. Basically, it just follows the naming. This is room two. Your door tag will be room two. Again, if you're working for a company, they already have a template. They already have all these tags. The reason why this is kind of not not like looking how it's supposed to be is because it's just a new Revit model that we're starting from scratch.
Mm.
But now, okay, that's good. So now we have our elevation.
So annotation is equal to tags, basically. Or is that different?
Tags is different. So annotation. So tag is an example of an annotation.
Annotation.
Yeah, basically. So now we have this. It's important to in as much as you want to have this level, you want to show what type the door tag. So 1 second, TG. This is door tag two. This is door tag one. That's good. You want to like type again. I'm just getting really detailed.
Yeah,
Nobody
no
gets
worries.
this detail, but it's just just to give you an idea of how it should be. But if it's just for representation, you're good to go. Like you're good
Okay.
to go. And if we're just showing this part, we don't have to show all this part. That's totally fine.
Okay.
Now we can now bring this into a sheet. I know it's called elevation 2A,
Right.
but you can always right click and rename it to say meeting room elevation. I don't know how to spell again. Meeting room elevation. And you you have it there.
Mhm.
Now let's try and bring it into here. Normally elevations are on a smaller scale, sorry, a bigger scale. So you drag and drop. As you can see, it is really, really big. We don't want that. Now let's fix that. Double click into it. Let's see if you can mess up with the scale. Okay, no, other way. Wonderful. So you click outside and just move up. Now let's make another view looking downwards. So how do we create interior elevation views? I'm asking
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
So how to create interior elevation view? We go to view,
Okay.
click elevation. Yeah.
Nice. So now we've made another view. Let's move it back a little bit so we can capture everything. That's good. Okay. Once you're happy with this, you click on it, and that's our view. You know,
Yeah.
I'll just rename it to working view. Whatever. Here now, let's drag and drop as well. So with the working view, click on it,
Mm-hmm.
hold it, drag it, and drop it. Now we can see it's in a bigger view. We can
Mm-hmm.
always adjust it. Double click on it,
Mm-hmm.
and sheet 100. And there we go. You can just move this, align it with this. So yeah, it is how to put different views on a sheet. For example, now you want to print this to the exact size.
Yeah.
You can
Or
you
create a
can
PDF.
yeah upgrade it like a PDF for like a print or pinup or whatever you have. You can either you can go here. No, my bad. You can go here to print. I just saved it. Or just type Control P. That's what I normally do. You can either use this icon or just type Control P. Now it will lead you to this print menu. Now you need to print it based on what you have. So normally I use Microsoft to PDF. That's if you have the Adobe PDF. Or normally I just use like a Bluebeam.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So once I have that ready, I want to make sure it's at the right scale on the right paper. Remember when we brought out the sheets, we did it on an 11 by 17, which is architectural B type paper. Now, in order to make sure that is good, we need to go to setup. Under options, go to setup. Now, it's telling you letter size, but that's not what we did. So ignore that. Go down and go to where you see 11 by 17.
Yeah.
That's the architecture B. Click on it. Very good. It's in the landscape. That's good. The paper placement is center. That's good. When you see zoom, make sure you make it zoom to 100% because if you
Okay.
zoom 50 page, it's going to just disrupt the scale. Make
Okay.
sure your zoom is set to 100% and the paper placement is set to the center of the page. Once you're happy, I think I found that kind of vector processing is better for normal line drawings. Again, it depends on your vibe or whatever you're going for. Again, you can try both and see what works for you. Once you're happy with this, you press OK. Now, before you print, you can actually preview your drawing and see how it will look like upon printing. You hit on the preview key right here and just hit on preview, and it will whatever. That's fine. It will still show up. Now,
Okay.
this is your view. If you're happy with it, if you're not happy with it, you can go back and like change it. But you can just go to print and it will print it for you.
Okay.
So I will show you an example so you don't think I'm lying. So I go to print and press OK, close.
And then now it has created PDF.
Yes. And here we have it.
Ooh, yay.
Again, we can always clean up these drawings. Yeah, I have a
Okay.
free trial. Anyways. But yeah, that's how to create views. That's how to import a view, a sheet into your Revit by going to view, go to sheets. If you don't have it here, you can just go to load, load it from wherever you've saved it in your desktop, here. Once you're done, you can edit the scale of the drawings to place your sheets, to place your views onto your sheet. You can just click and drag just like that. Once you're happy with everything to the right scale, you press on Control P and print it with what I've just talked about, making sure you go to setup, make sure you have the right paper size, the right orientation, make sure you have it to center. This is for working drawings. If you're just printing for pinups, you can mess with the settings. Whatever whatever gives you the best visibility in order to pass your point across to whoever you're presenting. That's what you should use. But for working drawings, there's more restrictions because you have to follow the working
The
drawing. You have to
scale.
follow
Yeah.
the scale exactly because you can't be printing something that's super big on a small paper. It's like what, like But yeah, that's how to do that. And
Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much for showing us how to make a PDF and plan
thank you,
and
thank you,
innovation.
thank you, Mia.
We are almost there. Let's begin the tutorial. It is almost at the end of the tutorial. We can do this.